So today we're going to try to build a sword cane as one of my first YouTube projects, which I really hope is going to go well. But hey, I mean, I'm going to have fun doing it. We're going to start designing the overall shape and the overall width and the overall dimensions that I would like, and we're gonna head out to Tim's place, Tim Dick, and we're gonna try to get this blade forged because we gotta start somewhere, and I don't want to start on just the cane itself because the sword has to go into the cane, and it's gonna be a complicated build for sure. Let's get designing. Alright, so I got a couple pieces of scrap paper from Tabby Leather, and just what my leather cane is wrapped in. And I think this is gonna be the right shape. So this is the overall length of my cane, and what I need to do is reserve a good portion for the handle and the grip. So probably go 7, just to give it enough girth, you know what I mean? And that leaves us quite a bit for blade. We're about 28.5 inches for the blade. Drop in some rough lines, rough measurements on now. I need I need to know how wide the blade is going to be. I would like to have 3/4 inch on each side of the center line, just to make that blade just thin enough, low profile enough where it slides into the wooden scabbard, and I think that's what I'm going to go with, 3/4 inch on each side. Let's just drop in some lines. I think about now 3/4 inch might be too big on each side. Let's go 1/2 inch each side. 1 inch blade. 1 inch blade doesn't seem like a lot. You know what I mean? You know what? Let's go 5/8. 5/8 blade each side. Man, it does not look centered, does it? But it's okay, because no one's perfect. Let's make the overall blade length portion tip. That's gonna bug me if I don't straighten that out. There's gonna be no cross guard or anything here. I don't want to slide my hand off and cut my fingers. So I'm gonna need the cane portion. Just drop that in. That's a beefy stick. It's only 1.5 inches. I mean, it's the size of a 2x4. That being said, for the connection piece here, I guess, I'm going to need a ferrule and a collet. Here is where that's going to be. I'm going to be doing a lot of filing there. Ooh, that one's in Canadian. I think I'm going to stick with the Freedom measurements for today. I'm going to draw it as a pistol grip. So that's kind of what we're working with. I can go and work on the tip. Alright, so let's head out to Tim's place and get this blade forged up.
here's what we got so far. We've got, Tim came out and gave me a hand because it was kind of a pain to get it straight. But yeah, first time running a power hammer this size, so I'm just kind of not too great with it. The blade is extra long, tang is extra long, so I can get everything shaped in nice. I kind of wanted to put a fuller in here, just to help with a little bit of the weight and stuff like that, but looking at it now, I don't think there's going to be too much weight in this. So yeah, I'm gonna take it over to the belt grinder, do some surface grinding. All right, check that out. We got a couple, I think they got a couple cold shuts up in here, but I'm pretty sure that those are surface shuts, so we should be okay. And I think the tip ends right about here somewhere, so I mean the rest of this stuff doesn't matter. And then over on the tang side, I mean, I gave myself lots of extra just in case I need to put a thread on there, stuff like that. So no, I'm really happy with this. Like, it is coming as a little bit of a curve to the one side, but during the normalizing process I'm going to pinch it in between a piece of steel and the table, and we should be good to go. I'll do 2 cycles and yeah. Took it out just as I thought. We're gonna stick this up here, and look how straight that is now. Pinning it in the table, I think that worked. So, good note.
Alright, so just got back to my workshop, and it was a good day. I didn't get enough footage, or I didn't get a lot of footage rather, near the end there. But I got it profiled, I got the treat done, the heat treat, and yeah, it looks good. Let's just go into the workshop and have a look at what I've got done. All right, here's the original plan that we're kind of gonna go with, and here is the sword portion. That was my first time using a power hammer that big, and the only power hammer I've ever used before that was an old school farm one that it's on a clutch pulley, and it's just 2 pieces of rail, and it was insanely crazy. It scared the living daylights out of me to use that thing. Tim's power hammer is just so much nicer. But anyway, I'm pretty much on the money with my size that I need for the blade portion. I left the tang like super long, just in case I need to cut it or modify it in one way or another, shape or form. I didn't really want to put these shoulders in, these hard shoulders. I kind of wanted to taper it, but you know what? I mean, it's not like I'm actually going to be using it for combat. So I'll be able to get this collet up here and get it in there nice and tight. When we did the heat treat on it, I thought for sure that I wasn't getting it very hard. And when I went to go in and hand file these out, there was no way it was happening. I had to take it to the belt sander. It's a hard piece of steel. We did get it really straight, which is also very good. And we did get everything in spec here. So thanks again, Tim, for letting me use your
your forge and facilities. Like this would have taken me in my little itty bitty forge. It would have took me like 4 or 5 days, like just to forge this out. And in retrospect, it only took me like maybe 4 hours worth of work, 4.5 hours worth of work. Like I'm pretty well in the stretch now where I can just start finishing it. Still lots more work to do on it, obviously, but yeah. Let's get the grinding. All right, that's one side down. Looks pretty good. And yeah, center line looks good, point looks good. Let's do the other side. All right, so let's get this sheath, I guess, or a scabbard fitted up. All right, so here's my nice piece of ash. And yeah, so I'm gonna split this down the middle on the table saw. Joint both faces of the scabbard piece. Maybe do some more jointing and whatnot. But first, I gotta get it on here, see how long I need it, and cut it, slice it in half, joint it, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Alright, next what I'm going to try to do is get these more or less squared up down the center on that bit, and hopefully when I stick them together, they should more or less be just ready to joint on the outsides and make them nice and square. I left it just like a little bit long on the top and bottom, just I don't know, by like 3 mil, just to give myself some cutting room, stuff like that. So let's get her laid out. I have a 125 degree bit that'll sit into my router, and it seems to fit the blade fairly nice. So I'll show you what I got going on here. This here is my 125 degree router bit. I still got to set the fence, but the depth is done pretty good here. So I've set up my distance for center. I've set up a line here to know when to stop my route and then just lift off and then remove. So I think what I'm going to do is just take it the whole way in and then maybe come back with a router bit to kind of square this off, or I can come in with a chisel and then just clean this a little bit up. So I'm just going to take these through in the same direction, and then that way when you flip them over, sandwich them together, they should be just mint. Alright, let's get a test fit. Let's just do the blade portion here first. I can cut that square in. Let's get it into the vise so it's a little straighter. Alright, so for the square portion or the rectangular portion, I think what I'm going to do is scribe it on there and then just set the router as best I can just to accommodate that. If I can get this fairly tight here, I think that'll take up any of the little, well, I mean, there's not really much slop in there. It's really nice. So I think what I'm gonna do, scribe it out, adjust the router, and then just nip away at it, I think, to cut in this nice little slot here. Also, being new to the whole filming while you work thing, I tend to forget to turn the camera on or off. So I got like hours of video that I don't need, and then the pieces that I do need, I don't have them. Like sharpening and polishing the blade, polishing rather, I'm pretty sure I don't have any of the polishing because I left my video running over at the grinder. Yeah, I just went over straight to polishing and
test it out. Perfect first try. Look at that. Yeah. And if you couldn't notice by the nervousness in my voice, that was not the first try. I've been trying to cut this dado for like 45 minutes now. Yeah. Alright, let's get a little bit of tongue oil in here. In these two grooves. It's already got a little bit of sand. Still got a little bit of burn in there, but you ain't gonna see that. Check it out. Glued up. Nice glue. All the way down. Jointed square. And it fits so snug. Look at that. Look at that. It fits snug. When you really want it to come out, it does. So nice. Alright, let's take it from a square down to a odd shape. Let's just check if the chamfers work. Chop these two pieces off here. Alright, here's what I got. Time to round it over. A little bit of Black & Decker Sandy. Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. It's gonna be so freaking cool. Not to mention the nice friction fit that I got on that. And you can't even hear it. Like it's in there. It's so in there. Man, that is... I am happy with that. That is so freaking cool. So I did a few things off camera. I made these guard pieces for the ferrules that fit together when the sword is closed out of that polyethylene. I'll probably put a piece of rubber in in between here to make the seal not so hard when it slams, or keeping a little bit of moisture out that may or may not want to get in there. So on my router table, I cut 2 routes, one on each side, these scales, and that will go here. I did undersize this hole because I'm going to burn the handle through really quick, and then that way it's a nice snug fit for the epoxy when I go and throw it in there. So I have that there, and then I also made the handle piece here with the same groove routed in, same thing, same distance, and this piece is going to sit up here on top of here. So I got to cut my tang here, and since I'm going to have an inset screw, I'm going to cut my tang here, knock this down, like forge this down into almost like a circle, and then tap it to the size of thread that I need for a nut. Forstner bit a hole in here, and then I will plug that. That. And like that. Protect your work surfaces. Can't forget the plug. It's coming along. I mean, we're getting her done. So I think what I plan on doing is continuing the ovalness or the profile of the scabbard here all the way up, more or less, all the way up the handle, and then flaring out in here. And then I kind of want to put like a thumb hook here, thumb hook, and then maybe make it a little flat, and then I do want a hook on this side of some kind, because I do like a hook, you know, like going into the bathroom, you know, like you hook it on something, and then that way you don't have to lay it down or whatever. But these joints are coming out really nice. They're tight. All these joints are tight, so I am happy with that. So when we get the profiling here, we'll just make sure that we're getting everything profiled in nice and kind of come up like this a little bit too. So. And this will be mostly cut out here into like a... It is coming along, and once I get this all done up, she should be pretty well done for finishing work. Alright, so as you may notice, some of the handles are already done. That's because I made a boo-boo, and when I was doing some pre-shaping, I was moving the camera around. Forgot to press record. So That was silly. But needless to say, all is appreciated. And now it's on to final shaping and finishing. Last leg of the race here. So let's get at it. Let's just get to an overall evening out of the wood and the components. Because right now it's still just a little uneven. Transitions onto the handle here. Just a little uneven. Put them together and I started sanding a little bit here just to make sure that it would work out. So far so good. I mean, it takes up that gap fairly well. Makes it almost sealed, like a little water barrier. So I'm happy with that. Just a little bit more and we can move into the staining. See? So yeah, just a little piece of leather cut to fit. Maybe a little uniform there, but I don't have a barrel sander to get in there anymore because I broke it. There we go. Hit that with some black. Give it another little sand job. Take out some of these. There we go. And then that's the end. I just sanded that with the drum sander. I need to take a little bit more off of this side. I think we're on to finishing. Finished. Actually, I went through and this was supposed to be black, but I hit it with some sandpaper accidentally and it gave me this, all of the grain decided to stay black. It's still like it's smooth in there, like I couldn't exactly get it out. I guess the stain went right in to those grooves, but I actually like the way that looks. But ended up using some leather for the split so that these don't bang together. And then I also used a bit of leather down here. I've been using the cane to walk around for a bit, so I will have to replace this piece of leather. But other than that, like, this leather works out pretty good as opposed to, say, a rubber grommet. I might try to maybe make something up a little later, but this works out just fine for now. But yeah, that's the finished lady right here, and super smooth. This grain turned out so nice, this bloodwood. Let's get to the stabby choppy version. Okay, close to the Halloween season, so we got a pumpkin, and I just like how these cut. So kind of had a craving for pineapple.
Give the old two-hand.